Este anuncio es sobre la oferta de AT&T para el nuevo iPhone 15 Pro, que es garantizada, aunque ese no es el caso con otros anuncios.
Todos caerán a tus pies. Con el jabón, enamórale.
Spoiler alert, no funciona. En AT&T, lo que decimos va en serio. Descubre cómo obtener el iPhone 15 Pro con titanio por cuenta nuestra con intercambio elegible. Conectar lo cambia todo. Visita tt.com/iPhone para más detalles sobre la garantía de la promoción de intercambio para clientes nuevos y existentes. Disponible por tiempo limitado, sujeto a términos y restricciones.
Hello, and welcome to episode 147 of The Nerd Out. Holy moly, it is us. I am Lisa.
I'm Ritzy P.
We're girls and we nerd out. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can email us info@thenerdout.com. You can check out our website, thenerdout.com. We are available on the Word to Your Mama network at WTYMAMA. Wow, Ritzy, hi.
Hi, T.I. So we haven't, according to my records, we haven't done this since July, and we are now in November, and a day before Turkey Timers, and yeah, but we're here.
We are here. I feel like we have overcome so much to be here.
How are you doing? You look lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing fine. Part of the reason that it took us a while to get together is that I had some health stuff going on, but everything's okay. I am here. I'm going to make it. There was never any doubt that I was going to make it, but I'm just letting you know that I'm making it. So yeah, it's been a while. I think you were saying that it has been since July.
Yeah, since July, man. And I miss doing this. But first and foremost, I'm glad that you're healthy. I'm glad you're going to make it. And second of all, and I think most importantly, for those who have seen previous footage of our episodes, you looked like you were being held captive in a basement in the 1970s.
It's the same basement. It's just that you can't see as much of it behind me.
So are you just in a new position? Did it get remodeled?
Yes.
Like, what is happening?
No. It's still like the heater, the like boiler, what is it? The like boiler and the water heater, whatever that you would imagine like someone being chained to in like a terrible movie. Yeah, it's right next to me. I've just switched the camera around and I'm sitting at something that's a desk and not sitting at the floor. Like, yeah, I've been abducted and yeah. So here I am. What was the organization that abducted Patty Hearst?
Oh, I forget.
Yeah. And I'm not doing my Patty Hearst routine. I wish, because she had a lot of money.
She had a lot of money, and she may or may not have been in cahoots with the people that abducted her. Is that what they say?
May or may not. May or may not. So yeah, things are good. Things are cruising. Been doing my stuff, but I haven't been doing anything nearly as interesting as what you've been doing.
I'm all. I forget this is also audio. So yes.
Yeah, Ritzy, why don't you tell us what you've been doing?
So since we spoke, I went to Colombia, Medellin, Colombia, because we, as Hola Metaverso, we had an event in conjunction, in partnership with the University of Medellin, at the University of Medellin. We had a 2-day event. It was called Futurista. It was amazing. I also spoke at it, and it was in Spanish. And I did pretty good.
How did that go? Okay.
I was nervous as fuck. But I was just like, you know what? I was this close to being like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, you know what? This is a great opportunity. Just because I'm not as fluent as I want to be yet, it's not about me. It's the missions. I always say the mission's bigger than us. And I'm there to talk about, women in Web3. our communities, blah, blah, blah. So I did it, and I was telling everybody, I was like, can you film me? You know, I even started off in Spanish. Well, I did the whole thing in Spanish, but I even prefaced it and said, if you will allow me, I said something like, if you will allow me, I might have to speak part of this in Spanglish, but I didn't. And the Supernatural Bear and his father were watching me live because it was streamed live, and they said that I had people laughing and I got claps and applause and stuff, and I did way better. And people said I did better than they thought I was going to do, or that I said I was going to do. So I was super happy about that. And then from there, I was there for a week. From there, went to New York to present at the United Nations General Assembly 78th Science Summit. No big deal. No big whoop.
Yeah. You know, just what most people do on the weekends.
Yeah, so it's still crazy. I can't believe that I did it. Especially like we were all on like no sleep, traveling like red eyes and doing all kinds of things.
Was it the same group of people that you'd been in Colombia with, or a different group?
A different group, but 3 of us were in Colombia, and then together we took the same flight, got there. And then it was like a week of activities and appearances, going to this because we were the women of Web3 that were presenting at the United Nations. And this is big. Like, this is really big because it was the first time in history that a presentation was approved to present anything on Web3. It was 100% women and it was 70% Latina. So it was crazy. It was crazy. But it happened. And yeah, so that's a little bit of what I've been doing. And
it's such a big deal. I knew you when. And here you are.
You knew me when we were talking about inappropriate shit and whatever. But yeah.
And I will know you when we talk about inappropriate shit again.
Exactly, as we will right now. Yeah, and then really quick, just a shameless plug, because we are in a visual format for those that are watching visually, is that I also exhibited for the first time since 2016 in New York for the UN in conjunction with that stuff. And I did a piece and it showcased my abuelita, my grandmother, and my mom, both who have passed over 28 years ago. And it was entitled, I Am My Ancestors' Vengeance, right? Super powerful. It was my first NFT. I cried. We all cried. Everyone cried because it was up there for all to see. New York, one of my favorite cities in the whole world. Right after we had presented at the UN. I mean, it was like levels upon levels upon levels. And everyone was like, oh, I need a shirt. Well, let me show you a little bit. Shirts are ready. I haven't announced it. By the time you hear this, it will be announced. But yeah, shirts are ready. They're in the store, the Word to Your Mama store. And if you use WTYM discount code, you get 10% off of the entire order.
I am totally getting a shirt. I would like to thank you very much for the color of the shirt.
And there's multiple colors. There's this, there's like a reddish, like a maroonish, a heather gray, and a black. You gotta have the black and white option, right?
Yeah,
the black and white option. And also one more last plug. I don't know if you could see it because of the glare, but that's a new Stevie Wonder pin.
Ooh.
A new illustration. So those are new in the store as well. We gotta keep the lights on, kids. We gotta keep the lights on.
What is the URL for the store?
It's wordtoyourmama.com/store. And it'll be in the show notes for sure. So yes. Okay. So nerd out.
I just pulled it up. I'm looking at it. And will it be in the show notes? I'll be the judge of that.
It will be when it's on Word to Your Mama. It will be for sure. Okay, so let's do this.
Yeah. Let's talk about some stuff.
Let's talk about the latest and greatest in TV. What are we doing? What are we watching?
As many of you guys probably know or have picked up over the years, we write an outline and we share it, like it's a shared document. And that's where we sort of put down the things that we're like watching, whatever. And this first one made me laugh that I see that you have been watching, because I'm very curious to hear your take on it. I read the book, and that is Lessons in Chemistry.
So I'm listening to the book right now.
Okay.
Because I finished the show and I'm listening to the book.
What did you think of the show?
I love the show.
Okay.
What did you think of the book?
I didn't love it. I didn't love the tone of it.
So the tone was
like it was serious, but it wasn't serious, and it was like almost a little too clever at times. I could actually see it being a better TV show than a book.
Well, I think you might. I'm interested if you're gonna. Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're talking about Lessons in Chemistry that's currently on Apple TV.
Apple? Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's on Apple TV, and it's based off of a book by Bonnie Jean Garmis. Jean. So I didn't hear the craziness about this best-selling book. None of it. I had never heard of the book ever in life. But Lessons in Chemistry kept coming on when I was watching the morning show, like a preview. And Brie Larson's a part of it. A lot of people that we know are producers, and so I was like, oh, and it's on Apple. So I was like, let me see. And I was like, not in the mood. I don't know what this is, blah, blah, blah. Then I needed something to watch, and I watched it. And I was like, what? And it kept surprising me and surprising. I had no idea. I never read the book, never heard the story, didn't look it up on Wikipedia, nothing. I was just watching it blindly, and I was like, oh, and I was like, I like this. I like this a lot. So it just ended, and I, on Spotify, for those who have a premium account, you get 15 hours free of audiobooks. You can switch back and forth. And so it came up. And so when how we nerd out after a show, and I was like, I really like this show. I like what they did. I wanted more. So then I looked, and then I saw that, it was a book. And so the book popped up. And so I was listening, and they changed a lot of stuff for the better. I believe it to be true. It's only 8 episodes. Wrapped up nice, neatly, boom. So I think I wouldn't enjoy the book. I may or may not have enjoyed the book if I didn't watch the show, right? Because I see them, I know what happens, I see how different it is, because I wanted more of the little details that you don't get when you watch a series. But I'm so interested to see what you're going to think if you're going to watch it, because they changed it in some like significant ways, I think, to make it a little bit more.
Este anuncio es sobre la oferta de AT&T para el nuevo iPhone 15 Pro, que es garantizada, aunque ese no es el caso con otros anuncios.
Todos caerán a tus pies con el jabón Enamórale.
Spoiler alert, no funciona. En AT&T, lo que decimos va en serio. Descubre cómo obtener el iPhone 15 Pro con titanio por cuenta nuestra con intercambio elegible. Conectar lo cambia todo. Visita tt.com/iPhone para más detalles sobre la garantía de la promoción de intercambio para clientes nuevos y existentes, disponible por tiempo limitado, sujeto a términos y restricciones.
Inclusive, maybe, if that's the word, without any spoilers. Okay. But when I did the nerding out, I really appreciated that Bonnie, this was her debut book. She's 65. This shit came out when she was 64.
That's amazing.
Anything's possible.
That's the best part about it. Yeah.
Anything's and the show is about a 1950s woman. It's based off the book 1950s woman who's a chemist who, her world gets turned upside down by multiple things. And it's like what you wished it could have been in the 1950s. Fucking what you wish it could be now. I was watching the show and now listening to the book thinking like, some of that shit still fucking is happening to women right now. And yeah, I think the promo's misleading, because I was like, I don't want to watch a 1950s cook show. Like what does that have to do with me, right? But when I watched, I was pleasantly surprised because she has what they're calling describing it as like a feminist cook show in 1950, where she's also teaching the masses principles in chemistry.
Yeah, like when I saw the previews for it, I was like, I I wonder if, like, one of the things that I thought about the book from the cover art, which I think does it a disservice,
Total disservice.
like, I don't know. I was like, this was like a total kind of Barbie style sneak in through the back door feminist manifesto in some ways.
Right.
And so that's what I thought when I saw the previews for the TV show, is I was like, oh, they're leaning into this like quirky, fun, time traveling, like, oh, I'm a housewife, but I'm smart and da 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 da. And whereas I think that, like, you know, there's a lot of like really big feminist ideas in this, apart from just the trait of like, she's a chemist, but like sort of how you define a family, how you do things on your own. Like it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
But I didn't love her writing. So I don't know. We'll see. But you know what? I like it a lot more knowing that she's 65. Go on with your bad self.
Yeah, it came out last year. Like, and it was like sold immediately because like it was like translated in 35 different languages or something crazy. And I was like, now I want to know, did they have a big push behind it? Like, how did people know and get past that cover? It was a word of mouth? Like, what happened?
I think like it was just like a big, I mean, I think that like chick lit has like, they don't really call it that. I'm dating myself.
What's chick lit?
Chick lit, like chick literature. And it was like,
chick lit, not chick lit, like a chicklet cutlet.
Not like a chicle. Chicle, not like that. It was like, and it was like, what was her name? Renee Zellweger was in the movie. Bridget Jones. Like, and it was like sort of it was a kind of a derogatory expression. And it was a big way that people described like around, I don't know, 2000 for like 10 or 15 years, like what sort of, like, it was kind of dismissive. And so I think that like the cover really plays into that whole chicklet thing. And I think that it's not a chicklet book. Which is, so I bet just loads of people read it thinking that that's what it was going to be, and probably were like pleasantly surprised and really enjoyed it.
And then told people. It's fascinating to me. Like, how did that happen? Mm-hmm. And how did it get into the hands of like, you know, Brie Larson and her friend? And I think like her friend is one of the producers and she's a chef. You know, just it's so fascinating to me, like the behind the scenes of stuff. How does shit blow up? You know, because I never thought of that until you mentioned it, that that cover is basura, is trash. Like, I would never pick it up. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck about this.
No.
But yes. So is it like, where is it on your list of priorities? When are you going to see it, maybe?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if I saw it before the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Because as I will talk a little bit more about, I'm like struggling to find stuff that I really like.
Same. Yeah.
I'm watching a lot of stuff that I'm like not feeling it at all. Right. But I would like, before we move on from lessons in chemistry, I would like to give a big shout out to Amy Polk Murray, who is the person who told me to read it.
Oh, did she love it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Amy. Oh, Amy. Let's ask her if she watched the show and what she thought.
Yeah, I will, for sure.
Does she listen to this? I don't know, but hi, Amy.
She does sometimes. Hi, Amy. So yeah, I'm like struggling with stuff to watch. I've watched a lot of crap. The two things that I watched that I really liked, one of them very conveniently timed to Halloween, it was great, was Interview with the Vampire. Did you watch that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you realize who the lead was?
Yeah.
It took me, it was like the second to last episode, and I was texting with our friend Sean, and she was like, well, you know, that's Grey Worm from Game of Thrones. And I was like, I did not know. What? I did not know. Did not know.
That's the only reason I watched that show. Was because I didn't even know it was coming out. I didn't even know it came out. I think I heard little rumblings about it because it came out last year. And I was like, I need something to watch. And I was like, oh, he's in it? Let me watch it. Oh, it's more gay. It's as gay as it should be. Let me watch it.
Yeah. They took some liberties, which I don't think were bad. The one liberty they took, I guess spoiler alerts kind of, is Claudia, they made Claudia too old.
Yeah.
Like part of the Claudia tragedy is that she was like 8 or 9 or whatever and forever trapped as a little girl.
Yeah.
So that was a part that I was like,
Well, they made her young enough where I could see, she's forever a teen and she's like stuck in that place and she hasn't fully developed supposedly. But they changed her for the new season. Yes,
I was very curious about that. I don't know, but I don't know any reason why.
Yeah, and she the actress was saying that, I don't know if it was amicable or whatever, but she made it seem like, oh yeah, I had a great time, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure the new actress is blah, 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 going to be fine.
I think that the actress that was in season 1 was in the Avatar movies. Now, I think I'm remembering that. And I think it was do I want to continue being in the Avatar movies or do I want to be on this TV show? And,
she's like, let me get the money. Let me get the money. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was sometimes a little soap opera, but I loved it. I was there for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, all of her books are really kind of soap opera-y. I thought that the guy that they cast for Lestat, at first I was like, I don't know. But by the end of the first episode, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like hot as fuck. Yeah. Energy
hot,
for
intense,
days.
Yeah,
body
arrogant.
Is sick. His body's sick.
Yeah. Yeah. And they sprinkled a little of him singing, him writing songs. And I was like, yeah, you're teeing us up for the next season, the Vampire Lestat.
And how do you feel about Armand? The casting.
Didn't love it.
Not he didn't have the same oomph.
No.
I mean, next season, they're going to show the story of them two, and maybe that's where it shines more. But in this season, I was like, what? That's him? I was like, no. They needed someone with a little bit of extra Antonio Banderas vibe.
Yeah. He didn't have, he didn't have the right, maybe, intensity that I was looking for.
Right. Exactly.
He felt just kind of a little Twinkie.
Totally.
And also he's supposed to be Antonio Banderas' version aside, he's supposed to be young. I think that he's supposed to be 15.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that weird shit in Anne Rice. And I think too that I'm all fine with you can, I am not attached to any ethnicity, cultural background, whatever. But if memory serves, Armand's thing was that he's Italian and he just always struck me as this Botticelli 15-year-old. Right. And so this guy didn't hit it. Antonio Banderas didn't hit it, but Antonio Banderas can hit it
back.
So
especially back then. Please believe it. I have a black and white painting I did of Antonio Banderas as Armand in college. Because back then I remember he could hit it.
There was the flame that he passes his hand through and he's all, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
my. Yeah. So the Armand thing, I don't know. I guess they can change his background. Maybe he's not Italian. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I felt like the guy was just not sort of Armand is super powerful. He's he's got something, and that guy didn't have much for me. But as you say, I'll watch the next season for sure. I thought it was loads of fun.
Totally there. And did you see the snippet of the next season? Do you want to support original content that supports diverse voices? Why not support Word to Your Mama? You're listening to it right now. Become a patron. Head over to patreon.com/WTYM. There are 4 patron levels to choose from, including Good Looking Out, I'm Down, Hell Yeah, and Please Believe It. Benefits include patron shoutouts, exclusive patron-only content, and so much more. Head on over to patreon.com/WTYM to take your support to the next level. Gracias.
Yes, I think so.
And then I was like, oh, he's a little bit more commanding in that long extended scene. I was like, okay, maybe a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Maybe he'll be like Lestat, like that dude. Maybe he'll turn into it.
Now that we know who he is.
Yeah. So
so that was the one thing I enjoyed. The other thing that I enjoyed a lot was Foundation.
Did you watch that? No, tell me more.
Okay. So I kept seeing people talking about how the second season of Foundation was like so amazing. And like everyone was like, and people online were like, I couldn't finish the first season. It would like dragged so hard. People were like, yeah, you just got to fight it out. And I was like, do I really want to fight out a crappy season to see something that's like, people are like the best thing on television. And I was like, all right, I'm in. So I recruited Ranger Ted to the cause. And I was like, are you ready to just like, maybe you're going to hate it. I don't know, but we're going to watch the whole thing. And he was like, yeah. So we both really liked it.
Oh, nice.
I thought it was great. It was, it has Lee Pace, who is amazing.
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's on my list. I forgot the name because Lee Pace. So what's the premise?
It is, I think that I'm going to probably get my nerd credentials revoked here. I think that Foundation is Isaac Asimov. Yes, it is. Okay. Isaac Asimov book. I don't know, from like the 50s or 60s. And they've taken a lot of liberties with it, but it's in essence about this empire. And maybe the empire is coming to a close and there's like a new chapter in humanity, but the empire certainly doesn't want that to happen. And will it happen? Won't it happen? And so it's kind of this power play about like human knowledge and who gets to pass it along to next generations and stuff. I mean, it's pretty heady stuff, but some of the world building is great. The visual effects are great. Lee Pace just chews scenery like there's no tomorrow. Like, so great. There's like a great cast. It's really, I was like, if that was the terrible first season I had to get through, sign me up, because that was not painful. That was pretty enjoyable, in fact. So, I will be starting the second season probably like around the holidays.
And how many episodes was the first season about?
I think like maybe 7 or 9.
Oh, that's easy. That's an easy lift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then I might look into that during the holidays, because I think I've exhausted all things now.
It's really it's really eye candy. Like, it's beautiful. And the premise is you're like, ooh, oh, that's what's happening. Whoa, this is, oh my, like there's so many interesting layers. It was definitely really fun. And I would say that and Interview with a Vampire are the two things that I've enjoyed the most the past 6 months.
But I have a very, very important question. Do we see Mr. Pace naked? Semi-naked?
I don't
have that
so.
To look forward to? And still looks good.
Yeah. He can wear some clothes. So, like, he looks good.
Right.
I don't know that I bet they're going to have to go there for,
Next
give
season.
The ladies what they want.
Yeah, we want
And the men's. And some of the gents.
And the men's. Yeah, that guy, man. He's like a man's man, and he's like tall and like sturdy. He's like sturdy.
Yeah.
And also kind of a mystery, right? Like, he just pops in and out, but it's always like high caliber shit, or like high caliber, like, a villain in Marvel. Like, he just pops in and out, but he's not like, I don't know. He's like mysterious kind of. And I like that.
Yeah. He was kind of the best thing about the Hobbit movies.
He's in the Hobbit movies?
He plays Legolas's dad.
What?
What?
We were just talking about I don't know why. Oh, we were talking about New Zealand, and we're talking with family that's been to New Zealand, and they went to go visit Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stuff, and I was like, oh, the Supernatural Bear. We read The Hobbit, courtesy of TI because of the book. But they're like, you haven't read Lord of the Rings? I go, no, we haven't yet. I go, we haven't ventured there yet. So I didn't know that because we haven't watched the movies. The movie?
Movies. I think there were 2, maybe 3. People bag on those movies, man. I didn't think they were that bad.
But they're not that good.
And they're not as good as the Lord of the Rings movies. But they I think a lot of it is that like The Hobbit's a very different story. But then they introduced a female elf in the Hobbit movies, and there's like no ladies in the Hobbit at all. So it was a lot of nerds being like, where's my Cheetos and my Coke? And then torches and pitchforks, Cheetos and Mountain Dew. So it was a lot of that. But they're like, sort of cartoony action sequences. At any rate, Legolas is in it. I don't think Legolas is in the Hobbit. Anyway, it's okay. It's fine. But he was also in *Halt and Catch Fire*, which I never watched.
I started it, but I didn't finish it. I don't know if it's worth revisiting.
Okay. He was also in a movie that I want to watch called *Bodies, Bodies, Bodies*.
Ooh. And do we get to see his body?
I don't know. It came out last year. It's supposed to be good. It's on my to-watch list.
Okay.
So,
I'll add it to mine.
And you know what? Not for nothing. He was also in Twilight Breaking Dawn.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know that. Because I recently revisited those. And in the last, since we spoke, I revisited them because you know how on aka TikTok, they'll show little snippets of movies and then it makes you get so captivated. I was like, but I've seen it 3 times and I was like, I haven't watched this forever. And I was like, oh yeah. Cause now time has passed and you recognize actors and stuff. And then I'm enthralled. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen. I read the books. I've seen the movie. And so I was like, oh, I don't want to do these little snippets. Let me just watch it again. So I rewatched it and I was like, yeah. And then what didn't you say? You said that you watched Twilight or something recently?
I was just going to say, when I was in the hospital, I was like, what? Twilight, the whole thing was on. And I was like, why am I watching this? And the nurse would come in and she's like, what are you? I was like, were you Team Edward or Team Jacob? She was like, Edward for sure. I was like, yeah, me too. And Ranger Ted, I was like, I am so sorry that you're watching this with me, Ranger Ted. And he was like, this isn't that bad.
If you read the books and if you're from that time, they were fan-fucking-tastic. And they still hold up. Yeah. And I still have this much left of my book from Edward's perspective, Moonlight. That I refuse to read because then that means it's over.
Because then it's done. Yeah.
Then it's over and it's done. So I still have that. I don't know when that will happen, but so TV.
I do that too. I've been doing that with Succession. Actually, I have 1 episode to go, and I can't can't bring myself to do it. Yeah,
you have to. You have to, so we can speak.
I know.
We have to discuss. We haven't discussed it.
I don't want it to be over. I know.
But how great was the season finale before the last season?
Oh, so good.
Tom's betrayal?
Yeah.
And how she had to the acting, how she had to play with the all caps. When she her face, the nonverbal acting, when she realized that it was him, and then he comes in trying to play it off and hugs her. Mm-hmm. And she's like,
yeah.
Este anuncio es sobre la oferta de AT&T para el nuevo iPhone 15 Pro que es garantizada, aunque ese no es el caso con otros anuncios.
Todos caerán a tus pies. Con el jabón, enamórale.
Spoiler alert, no funciona. En AT&T, lo que decimos va en serio. Descubre cómo obtener el iPhone 15 Pro con titanio por cuenta nuestra con intercambio elegible. Conectar lo cambia todo. Visita tt.com/iPhone para más detalles sobre la garantía de la promoción de intercambio para clientes nuevos y existentes. Disponible por tiempo limitado, sujeto a términos y restricciones.
And the episode where someone who shall remain nameless, because spoilers, dies. Like,
Right.
the acting in that one? What?
Right.
Yeah.
So
The woman
good.
who
So
plays
good.
Shiv is such a good actor. And I
She's
think
you.
she's...
Your twin?
Oh, nice. I think from what I've like in watching the like listening to the podcast and watching the afterwards stuff, like
Of course.
she's one of those actors apparently who like rolls up and's like, "Hey everybody, what's going on?" And then it's like action and she's like in it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they're like cut, she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's such a funny joke." And people are like, "How does she do that?"
With the full-blown
And-
accent. Like she's Australian or something?
Yeah, Australian.
Yeah. Skills. Just
Yeah.
like fucking oozing natural God-given gifts of
Yeah.
amazingness.
I
And
know. I
body
wanna
for
see her in
days.
more
Like
things.
looking good and all her fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I will finish
Um,
it, I promise, before the time we meet next. What are you watching?
So I've seen a lot of things, but the things that come to mind is lesson in chemistry. Because literally, I just finished that like yesterday or 2 days ago. And then my favorite, I've talked on here, The Gilded Age is back in full effect. I think we're like,
Is it good?
hell yeah, it's good. I wish it was like I could binge it. And the podcast, of course, afterwards for all the like nitty gritty tales. Yeah, so good, so good. I love it so much.
Okay.
So then I was like, oh, I need some more of this like old timey period piece stuff. And on Apple, this show, The Bucaneers, kept coming up. And I was like, I don't know, because it's like, you know, younger, and then they're using like, they're not using period piece music. They're using like now, you know, current music.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I'm all into the Buccaneer. All in.
Okay. I
All
love
in.
it.
All in. Yeah, it's like Downton Abbey-ish, a little bit like that, but not really. It's about, you know, American women infiltrating new money, and this one girl, she's in the middle of something that I don't want to spoil it. And I'm just like, yeah, I need all this. I didn't know I needed it. And I'm not like, oh my God, it's the best fucking show. But I'm like, oh, this is what I need right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So recommend. Easy breezy watch, like an easy breezy watch. Good for the holidays. Like, oh, you just need something. You could watch on your computer. No big whoop. You know?
Okay. What time period does it take place?
Funny enough, and I want to reach out to the people of the Gilded Age. I believe it coincides because something that happened in the Gilded Age, they portrayed it in the Buccaneer. And I was like, is that the same Duke? And they mentioned in the Gilded Age, they mentioned real people that existed during that time. Mrs. Astor, the Astor family, right?
Yes.
And they mention it and then she comes out in Buccaneer when they go back to New York and they do a big thing. Yeah. So.
Okay. I have been really pleasantly surprised by Apple TV. Like, I feel like a lot, like they have some really quality shit on there, and it doesn't get a lot of like media attention, at least not in the stuff I'm consuming. Like, I never would have heard of the Buccaneers.
Yeah, only because they had it in front of lessons in chemistry, and you know, and the morning show. Which, fucking, do you watch that?
No. Spider.
Oh no! What kind of spider? Super big?
I mean, it's pretty big.
Oof.
But it's in somewhere that's dark now, so I don't know where it is. Sorry.
I
totally ruined the chi. The spider ruined the chi.
Morning show. Oh my God.
Should I watch it?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
It's a slow burn because you're going to be watching from the beginning, and it starts off right before the pandemic and goes into that shit, right?
Okay.
So you're like,
I
you're
watched the first episode and liked it, but Ranger Ted didn't.
Oh, Solo. Watch that shit. And this season was kind of like Succession, Mad Men type of stuff. And John Hamm's in it this season. And I was just like, oh. So yeah, super good. Like it was up to date. Like they had January 6th shit on there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what you think about that.
Okay.
So that's currently what I'm watching. We finished Loki. Fantastic. People didn't think it was that great.
I don't have Disney right now or Hulu. So if I get my Black Friday Hulu deal, then I'll see if I can lump in Disney and do that.
Loki was great. From the jump was like great.
Okay.
Action packed. And that's it. What about movies?
I haven't seen many movies. I saw The Marvels.
Oh, how's that? With Brie Larson again. That's what people are saying.
For those of you who are listening, this is me doing my hand back and forth like, me, so. Like, I thought it was... Okay, here's my piping hot take. I wanted to like it because I like Brie Larson.
Mm-hmm.
I like the premise. I like all of it. I like women, superheroes, but I just didn't think it was that great.
Whoa.
But it was entertaining. It was a matinee. I felt very comfortable having given my matinee money to the cause.
Nice.
But it wasn't a like, oh shit, that was great. Although in fairness, it's kind of been a while since, like, apart from probably the last of the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movies, like, I don't know that I felt that way about many superhero movies lately.
Right. And then did you watch, before watching the movie, did you watch Miss Marvel, the series, before that?
I watched part of it. Sorry, the spider's over here now.
Oh my goodness. Totally understand.
I have a spider gun that's like a vacuum.
Oh.
And you suck them up and then you can put them outside.
Oh,
so,
nice.
As long as it stays there, I'll get it after. I did not. I watched part of it and I kind of petered out. I kind of felt the same way about it. I like the actress. I like it's cute, but I was like, I'm not feeling it.
We decided that we weren't going to see the movie until we watched that because we totally missed that. And then we haven't watched, what's his name show? The Samuel Jackson show. We haven't watched that.
Nick Fury. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Nick Fury. I couldn't think of his name. We haven't watched that. We're not, it's like, we had to wait for things back in the days and they were special. And now it's like, I can't keep up with
coming
everything.
At you fast.
Yeah, coming at you fast and not all quality. Star Wars shit, all quality.
I would like to see the Ahsoka.
You haven't watched that?
Series. No, I don't have Disney.
Oh. Then you're gonna have a lot of shit to watch.
Good. Instead, the movie that I think has stuck out the most in my brain that I've seen recently is about a real live superhero. It's Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour. So I went to go see that at my local theater.
You went to the theater to see it?
10-4. I
didn't know that you were a Swiftie.
I wasn't really. I was interested in the phenomenon. Which is part of the reason for going. I was also really interested in, I don't go to shows like that, obviously, anymore.
Right.
So, like, what is a really big balls to the wall, with all due respect, lady balls to the wall, like, big arena event. And so I was like, all right, let's go see what this is like. And I really enjoyed, like, the stage production was so nice. It was so good. And like, even sometimes I was like, nah, it's kind of, you could have done that so much better. But then there were other things like the patterns on the stage, the art that they had, like moving on the stage and like all of it. Really nice. And so I really enjoyed like the production design, the costumes, because at the end of the day, I can be a little girly like that. Like, ooh, look at that. Look at those costumes. And I think that she's a pretty impressive entertainer.
Wow, that's
Like,
surprising.
am I rocking out to T-Swizzle? No. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Wow. Well.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Yeah. I know. Don't tell Karen.
But this was like when you were off of work, so you had time?
Yeah. I was, I went on a weekend.
Okay. I was
So
just trying to
it came
say,
to,
like, this is still kind of boggling my mind. That
yeah,
you went to go
no,
see
I mean, we
it.
have a little like 3-screen movie theater in town.
Okay.
And it was on the big screen in the middle for like 2 weekends. And apparently opening night was a really big deal. And a girl that I knew in town, I was hoping to make it, but I couldn't. A girl that I knew in town who's a big Taylor Swift fan made me a friendship bracelet.
I was going to say, are you rocking a friendship bracelet? And yes, you are.
I haven't seen her to get it. I haven't seen her to get it from me.
Oh, you don't have
like,
it.
She did. She had like, I think it says like Baker City Eltram and the date.
Special.
And she went, and she and her boyfriend and her mom all dressed up as different eras, and they made a ton of friendship bracelets. This is what got me interested, is like talking to her about it.
Right.
And like, tell me about this friend. Like, I was able to interview her. Like, tell me about the friendship bracelet thing. Tell me about the dressing up thing. Tell me about. And she was apparently a really good hype man for Taylor Swift. And so I was like, all right, I'll go see the movie.
They got your money. Yeah.
How about this? I even convinced Ranger Ted to come with me.
Shut up.
And it was only when we were standing in the lobby and we saw my neighbor there, and they were like, Ted, I can't believe you're here. He's like, yep. And she was like, that's a long movie. It's like 3 hours and almost 3.5 hours. And he was like, excuse me? And he was like, I'm out.
As so I would have been too. Whoa. Yeah. And that wasn't too long for you? Miss Queen of shit being too long?
It was a concert.
Wow.
You know?
Well.
They were like a group of 20-somethings, mid-20-year-olds up in the front left, standing up, singing, screaming along to songs, dancing. Cute. There were like a bunch of like, I don't know, 13-year-old girls behind me who were with somebody's mom who were like singing along. And I mean, it was
cute.
Really cute.
That's super cute. Come on, it's cute.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, T.I. Learn something new every day.
Yep.
When you get the said bracelet, please wear it on the next show.
Sure. Oh, I will.
And let's show the peeps. Yeah. Yeah, because I saw people that I knew, either going because I think everyone that I saw is because of their kids. And they had to spend, it was in LA, so like thousands of dollars.
So expensive.
2 tickets, 3 G's, like this level type shit. But the time it's it's going to be a core memory. It's going to be a core memory.
Yeah.
For me, I was super excited about this movie and I didn't see it at the theater. So I had to wait and I rented it, and it is fucking so good. It's by Celine Song. It's her directorial debut. It's Past Lives. It stars Greta Lee, who's also in the morning show. Korean German actor extraordinaire Teo Yoo, and John Margaro, who, if you see his face, you're like, oh, I know that dude. I've seen him in a lot of things before. This movie, I watched it. I bawled. Was thinking about it and talking about it. I still think about it. It still pops up in my head. And there's only like 1-2 people that I know that had seen it at that moment. And we were just like off texting on the side, talking about this movie and talking about what happened and talking about what we would have done, what we would have, and just like, what do we think that meant and what kind of love and da-da-da-da-da. T.I., please.
Okay.
Now, I think it's probably streaming free by now, but please, during the holidays, watch this movie and let me know. I'm not saying anything else.
Okay.
Not saying the premise. Don't look it up.
I won't.
Don't nerd out before. Just watch it. Be open.
Okay. Okay.
Just in case, put some tissues.
Okay.
Get some tissues.
All right.
And if
That
anyone,
is
and if anyone listening has watched it and wants to talk about it, I'm here.
You are available.
I'm available.
What is it? What was the sign that Lucy would hang the psychiatrist is in? And Charlie Brown? When she moonlighted Lucy as a psychologist or something, and she would have her little thing, and she'd be sitting there, and she would hang a sign that says the something is in. So the Ritzy is in. Wow, that was a deep cut. Peanuts.
No, but if you go to the
Jenkins.
Santa Rosa airport, they have that at the Santa Rosa airport.
Okay.
Because Charles Schultz lived there. So there's a museum there, and everywhere in town, there's little like all Peanuts characters. But the airport is fully Peanuts, and they have the Lucy stand, the psychiatrist is in or whatever. So yes, T.I., I'm so excited that you don't know about the premise of this movie and you haven't watched it, because I want you to watch it.
Okay.
I still think about it like if there were real characters.
Okay. Okay. All right. That is high praise. By the way, I looked it up. It's The Doctor is in.
The Doctor is in. Yes.
The Doctor is in.
And then it has like 4 cents or 1 cent or something like that. Yeah. And that's what they have at
Prices
the airport.
Have changed.
Yeah. Today's price is not yesterday's price. Yeah. So that's about it, Tia. I think that's a good wrap up. We could talk books next time.
Yeah.
So for the folks listening, while I have you here, how are you feeling? Are we going to make one more before the year's over? You think we can do it?
I don't want to, saying that I'm boycotting the holidays makes it sound really strong. I'm not going to go see family. We're not going to go see Ranger Ted's family. We're just hanging out here. So I'm here having a very mellow holiday season. So I am free around Christmas.
Okay. So let's do it. Let's do one more and let's see what we can watch, what we can, and talk about, nerd out about some more. How about them apples?
I'll buy those apples.
All right then, T.I. Peace out, nerds. Make sure to follow Where's Your Mama on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you stream your podcast, or download the Latina Podcasters Network app.